Hello everyone. So, welcome back. So before you freak out, I've done like everything. Okay? I beat the Ender Dragon. I went to the Nether, got blaze rods, all that. I made a digital miner. I made a bunch of these. And I didn't do any of it on camera, and I'll tell you why. It's because my life got so hectic, so crazy, and so mind-blowingly out of proportion that anytime I sat down to play Minecraft, all I wanted to do was play Minecraft. I didn't want to record. I didn't want to, stress myself out over doing that. So I also installed Optifine, which means that my frames per second have been awesome. But yeah, so I've decided sort of that we're gonna start taking a new approach to the videos because I'm not enjoying making them as much as I thought I would. And the reason for that is because I'm not good at talking about building, which I didn't know yet because I had never done it. But I'm really not good at talking about what I'm doing at the time. And so instead of doing that, I'm gonna maybe, pick a project, and we're gonna do that while I talk to you about some things that are on my mind, because that happens a lot, and especially recently, which, so today there's some things I would like to talk to you guys about. But first I wanted to get to the apology. I am sorry that I haven't been recording. It's just that a couple of weeks ago I had a funeral to go to, and that was just when I was starting to get these islands in and everything, and again, every time I sat down, all I wanted to do was relax and play Minecraft and not worry about recording or anything like that. And so I got a lot of progress done, and it's a lot of the grindy stuff that I really wouldn't want to do on camera anyway. But today, I think what we're going to do is we're going to pick out some materials, and we're going to be making a sort of a little house on one of these islands. Obviously not that one, and obviously not, well, maybe that one. But basically, I'm going to either build a new island, between now and the next cut, or I'm going to pick one of these islands to make a house on. And honestly, I might just move the QED, which was helpful in making some... I was making a thing, I don't even remember what it is now, but I might move this and just build a house here. Or there's that one up there, which, probably not that one, because that one was going to be my powerhouse. Basically, I was going to put all my windmills up there. And because this is right up at build limit, I think, just about. So I'm gonna make a cut, and I'm gonna go do some of that, and I will see you back here. Welcome back, guys. Okay, so I started doing a little bit of this. I did take down the QED, and I expanded this a little bit so that we could build up here. But I'm gonna get to building, and then we're gonna talk. Because while I've been kind of scoping the internet and all that, and now I don't build very well on camera, so forgive me derping around a little bit. But so I've been on the internet a bit, and it's come to my attention that lately, and I don't know if this is just from my scope, like things that I've been seeing because I'm me, or if it's become an increasing problem. But now, my problem is not group specific necessarily, but lately I've been seeing a lot of feminism posts, and it bothers me that people have latched so deeply onto this that they can't see what the actual problem is. Now, I'm not saying it's not a problem, I'm just saying we're not focusing on the right thing. Now, what does that mean? That basically means that we aren't seeing people as people. We're seeing people as we group them. Now, that means... Stupid marble. That means basically one thing. I want to stop seeing... Now, I know this isn't realistically going to happen, but that doesn't stop me from having the expectation. I want to stop seeing feminism this, feminism that, misogynistic this, misogynistic that. I want to stop seeing racist this, racist that. I want to stop seeing all these labels for people, and I want to start seeing things for maybe something like equalism, something that goes for everybody, that's all inclusive. Because the problem is we're not seeing people. We are seeing whatever we label them as. And I don't know why. I don't know why we see people as black and white, why we see people as, you know, female and male, you know, we see them by what nationality they are, and that's really frustrating to me, guys. I can't express enough. Why can't we just be nice to people? You know, why can't we just treat people like they're the same as us? You know, I get that everybody has different opinions on everything, but what I'm starting to see is that, you know, we don't... I'm so frustrated, guys. Because I am part of... Well, I'm the founder of a... Nope. I'm the founder of a cause called Go Change the World. And basically what it is it teaches people to be nicer people. It just, you know, it teaches people that you have to be nice to people, and you can't just be mean to people just because you want to, or because you had a bad day, or, you know. Because what's funny is when I started that, I started just whenever I saw somebody, and it didn't matter if they were in a good mood or a bad mood, I would just say, "Hello, how are you?" And when they responded, it was a lot more cheerful than, you know, what I used to get. I used to get, you know, because I basically used to say things like, "Hi, how are you? You know, how you doing today?" And when people would respond and ask me, you know, how I was, because that's a pretty normal response, just for them to go, "I'm okay, how are you?" Well, when I started responding as good, instead of, "Oh, I'm okay," or I'm alright, I guess. When I stopped doing that and I started responding more positively, I felt better. And I don't know why, I'm not totally sure, but that was just how I felt. And when people would respond back to that, they would be in a better mood. And I think that says something, guys. Now, do I expect you to do this every single day? No. I'm not totally, you know, throwing out the window that you're gonna have bad days that you just can't. Because I still have those days, guys. It's a normal part of being a human being. But my problem is, I want people to be nice to people because it's the right thing to do and because they want to. I want people to start seeing people, because we're not seeing people, guys. And the problem is, I started doing the same thing for a long time. I started seeing bullies, and I started seeing, oh, you know, just, I would group people, just the same as you and anybody else, you know, just in different ways. But I wasn't seeing the big picture, you know? And I want to start seeing that big picture now. And I want people to stop saying feminist. I want people to stop saying racist. I want people to stop grouping themselves in these cause groups. I don't know why we feel the need to group things and then say, "I'm going to change this part," or I'm going to bring this group up to par. It doesn't make sense, because if you think about it, you're not actually advocating for equal rights then. You're just kind of advocating for that group to be privileged. And I'm not saying that, you know, the good meaning isn't there, but I am finding issue with the fact that people have taken things like feminism and they turn them into this nasty, nasty thing, and I don't know why. You know, like, I hear all the time about, you know, women who hate men, or, you know, they're just so angry all the time. And you can imagine to somebody like me who just wants people to be nice to each other, why that would be so frustrating. Why that would be so disheartening. Because feminism, what feminism was supposed to be back, you know, when it first started, it was such a great thing. And now, I'm not so sure it is that great thing anymore. And the thing is, women have enough rights right now, like, where we can make a difference. And I'm not saying there's not more work to be done, but I think the work that needs to be done, you will find, will be done better if we start focusing on people as a whole. Just like black people and you know, any race that's ever been, you know, held down or discriminated against, I think you'll find that we have, you know, as a group of people, we have enough rights right now, you know, all of us, that saying that we're still fighting for equal rights is, I mean, not that there isn't work to be done, again, but it kind of doesn't do justice to us as people, you know? It doesn't, it kind of demeans what we've already done. As if, you know, somehow we haven't done enough. And we have. But we need to start on a new project. Something everybody can do together. Because we've gotten to that point where, you know, you can go into a bar or whatever. You can go into a library or whatever. And you can have a conversation with anybody. You know, and most people are okay. You know, some people, you know, don't like certain things, but for the most part, I think we're doing really well, and we're not giving enough credit to that. And we could do so much if we just stopped labeling. So guys, that's about all I wanted to say as far as that goes, and I know I started rambling a little bit because I got a little lost in my own thoughts, but we can do better. We can do better than quabbling at each other, and we can do better than going at each other's throats all the time. We've gotten to a point where we have so many rights that, you know, people are speaking out a lot, and we need to start organizing that outspeak. Because right now, because there's so little to fight for, and it's so, I think the people that already have those rights think it's so petty that we start yelling, and then nothing gets done because nobody likes to be yelled at. Seriously, nobody likes to get yelled at, and that's the problem, is that, you know, we're yelling at this point, and yelling's not going to get us anywhere. Not anymore, because people have figured out that they don't have to be yelled at. They can just shut it off. They don't have to deal with it. And so they're not going to listen, guys. If you're yelling at them, they're not listening. So we gotta, I don't know, kill the world with kindness, I guess. Because nothing else has worked. Yeah. Kindness, guys. Seriously. I know it sounds really corny, really cheesy, really stupid, even. But we can do this. And it's not hard. I thought it would be, to be nice to people. Because I used to be really grouchy all the time. And I thought at one point that it would be really difficult and really, one of those chores, you know, where life would become a chore that I would have to, I have to go out and be nice to people all the time. But once you start doing it, guys, it gets so much easier. And it astounded me, this revelation that it does get easier. because I'd heard it all the time, you know, like, it gets better, it gets easier. It does. It really does. Because you start to see the change in the people that you're talking to, and that's really cool, guys. It's really a cool thing to watch. So, do you guys see what I'm doing here, by the way? I mean, it's kind of a, I don't know. I tend to not think I'm a very good builder, but, I'm kind of proud of this. This part up here is going to be a window. Or a balcony, maybe? Maybe. That could be cool. But it's basically matching that down there. But that's going to be a door, and this is going to be a window. Hopefully. So, all in all, guys, I just don't understand, I guess, why when we have an opinion, we start to yell at people about it. Because I've actually, sometimes since I started this project, I've actually caught myself yelling at people who are agreeing with me. And I'm like, wait a minute. We're agreeing on this. Why are we yelling at each other? And then they kind of look at me and they're like, well, huh. And it's that eye-opener. God, wow. Can I? It's that eye-opener, okay? So, I think I've droned on long enough about that. Here's my other thing that I wanted to talk about. My parents sometimes like to do this thing where I say something that is disheartening to me, right? I say something that bothers me about usually where I work. And I work in retail, right? So they're like, then you need to not work in retail. I'm like, no, I'm not going to lower my expectations of something because they don't meet it. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's kind of hard to explain. Because I've tried. You know, I tried explaining it to my parents and they just kind of shrugged me off and they thought I was talking about something else. But what I was talking about was, you know, say a company has say a company doesn't pay their employees enough. Many people would tell me, then get a different job. Why should I get a different job when maybe I like my job, maybe I like what I do. I just don't get paid enough for it. Now, I've had people tell me I need to go to lawmakers. I've had people tell me I need to I've had people tell me a plethora of different things, but in the end it all boils down to one thing. That my expectations are too high. But I don't think they are. See, because I'm just expecting the owners of a company to be better. All I'm doing is expecting them to do more than what the law states they have to. What does that mean? I don't really know. It's kind of some gray area. But I mean, if the law states that they have to, I don't know, they can only, or that they have to give, like I used to work for an amusement park, right? I used to work at Six Flags. And what I would find was, now this really upset me because this was a prime example of a company that is just barely scooting up to the law and barely following it. The law states that they can give up to 100 training hours. So what would they do? Now, training hours, you have to understand, are, you get paid less. You get paid about 50 cents less, I think. And now, the problem with that is those are designed to be hours where they're training you, where they're teaching you how to do the job, and, you know, I can understand from a business standpoint why that would be necessary. Why you would need something like training hours, because you then have to pay another employee to train them. You know, you're paying more anyway, so that, you know, they allowed them to lower the pay that they were giving you. However, here's just one problem with that. Six Flags didn't actually train anybody. They just set them to work and were like, yeah, the first 100 hours are considered your training hours and you'll be paid less. Well, what? Like, why? And when I complained about this to, you know, people I knew, or basically anybody that, you know, it's not like I was complaining to people I was working with, but when I complained about this, people were like, well, get another job then. Well, what if we stopped saying things like that and we started actually treating the problem? The problem isn't that they're allowed 100 hours, because that's fine if they're actually training them. But Six Flags wasn't training anybody. So why were they still allowed to assign training hours to somebody they weren't actually training? And that's what I'm talking about, guys. I'm expecting more out of employers, not out of the law. Because that's not how companies are supposed to work. Companies are not based on the law. It's not that... I hope you guys can see where I'm coming from, because I can't... It seems so... It seems so simple to me that I don't understand why anybody would see it a different way. I can't see why anybody would consider it okay to do something like that. And I don't see why people think that it's okay for companies to do that just because it's okay with the law. So, I don't know how long I've been recording for, guys, but whether this is long or short, I'm probably going to cut it here, because I've run out of marble for that, and obviously that's where I keep my marble, and I have no more. So I'm going to end up going and getting more. If this was short, maybe I'll come back, but probably not. So, no, I'm just going to cut it there, guys. That's silly. So, that's going to be a storage place, guys. So all this stuff over here is going to get moved into here. Maybe I'll start AE, but if I do AE, guys, I hope you know I am not doing that on camera. I just am not. Because that sounds... I mean, I don't like doing AE2 on camera anyway. Or, I don't enjoy doing it anyway, let alone on camera. So, so maybe next time I will have some AE set up. And, yeah. So guys, thanks for watching. I'm sorry I rambled so much, but this is kind of what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get better at it, obviously. Trying to balance this, like what I'm doing with what I'm saying. But until next time, guys, I will catch you later.